Hi, I'm St. Mary's Community Officer Aaron Mountfield, and it's not against the law, but you should watch the Front Porch Show!
Hello, hello,
The Front Porch Show!
we're set to go.
The Front Porch Show!
Hello, hello, we're set to go on with the Front Porch Show. It's Dynamo,
The Front Porch Show!
Magnifico.
The Front Porch Show!
It's Dynamo, Magnifico on with the Front Porch Show. We'll share a laugh or two. Big smiles for me and you. Hello, hello,
The Front Porch Show!
we're set to go.
The Front Porch Show!
Hello, hello, we're set to go on with the Front Porch Show.
Here we are at show number 3 in season 5 of the Front Porch Show. And we have a really good show lined up for us. Don, can you tell us who's on the show?
Well, John, we have Tina Crossfield, a successful book publisher in town, Chris Evans, who has started a business making pickleball paddles, and Steph Martin will be discussing how she has become involved with the latest AKool films, Taste of Blood. And we have a special guest.
Who is the special guest, Don?
Well, that's a surprise.
Okay. Well, we have a special guest on the Front Porch Show. Now, before we forget, we'd like to thank the sponsor of the show, which is Partners in Employment. Okay. Well, before we forget, I'd like to get this right, so I'm going to read it. We'd like to thank our sponsor of the show, Partners in Employment, with offices in Stratford, Listowel, Exeter, Goderich, and of course, St. Mary's. If you are looking for a job or a career change, contact them. The St. Mary's number is 519-284-0112, or you can email them at pie@partnersinemployment.on.ca.
Partners in employment, get a job. Get a job.
Come on, everybody.
I said a job.
Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. All right. Partners in employment. You can get everybody. All right, well, it doesn't look like, John, that we've introduced the Front Porch Show dog of the week. So who is she?
She is Winnie, and she's a doll, and she belongs to the Brenners. She and I have a special thing going, don't we? We had a special thing. She sometimes comes here and stays overnight.
Ooh,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
must have a special thing going.
there we go.
So where does Marie sleep?
Where she normally sleeps. This is the Front Porch Show, Frank. We don't get into intimate details.
Well, I think she's a beautiful, beautiful dog.
She is. She's got a wonderful temperament, and we're glad to have her whenever she wants to come here. Our first guest is Tina Crossfield, and she started from scratch and runs a successful book publishing business. Hi, Tina.
Hi, John.
So, you're a book publisher.
Oh, gosh, yes, I am.
How did this all start?
I happened to be on an airplane heading to Montreal to launch my own book that was not self-published. It was published by an organization. But I met a woman on the plane who was going to the same conference, the same organization where my book was going to be launched. And she said, I have a manuscript. It's been locked up for 20 years, ever since I broke up with my ex. And so she said, I'd really like to work on it, but I don't know what to do with it. So I said, well, let's wait till we get back. We lived in Calgary. Let's wait till we get back home and then I'll have a look at it. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I getting myself into? Because it didn't have any format. It had several voices. It was all over the map. But darn, it was a good story. So I set about trying to find, I was doing this as an editor, trying to find a usable format for the book. And I grew to like the book, and I said to the author, you know, Alice, I think that we can publish this. I can publish this. I'd been doing desktop publishing for quite a while for several companies, and so I was pretty familiar with the software. I had just finished looking at my own book, publishing my own book, or I should say, having someone publish my book, because there's a huge distinction between authoring a book and publishing a book. So I said, I think we can do this. Let's try. And we found marvelous artwork to use on the cover, and we printed it and got it into bookstores and sold over 2,000 copies. It went into second printing, and the book was all over the north. The bookstore we worked with was in Yellowknife, because the story was about prospecting in the north. And she was nominated for an award, and I was nominated for Emerging Publisher of the Year.
What year was this?
That was in the year 2000.
That's interesting. And did your business grow from there?
Well, then another manuscript came to me. It was a friend who said, I've been doing a lot of research on a woman scientist, and would you be interested in taking this on and publishing it? And I said, yes, let's do it. And it turned out to be a great book. We published it. At that point, we were doing print on demand. And that was fine for then. I would do it differently today. And then one thing led to another, and one manuscript led to another. Published a children's book for boys and girls, ages 12 to 13. Really good adventure story. Published suspense crime from the Eastern Townships in Quebec.
Really? How many authors do you have?
I have 22, but it's growing.
There's always somebody that has a book. Can you take any more authors?
I am worried. I have authors saying, oh, I've written a second book. And I'm thinking, oh, really? That's great.
There will be people watching this program that feel that they have a book that they would like to get published. What do you do when they bring you their manuscript?
Well, you have to accept the work that went into it. And so an author to sit down and write something cover to cover, it takes a lot to do that. And I think it deserves a lot of respect. Maybe it's not publishable right now. Maybe it never will be. Maybe it's the greatest book that's ever come along. But you have to give it a chance. And so authors deserve that chance to have a book at least looked at or reviewed at some point. That could happen in a number of different ways. It doesn't have to be a publisher, but to have an editor look at it and say, yeah, there's some really good material here, but you could improve it by doing these few things, and maybe then submit it to a publisher. Truthfully, most manuscripts that come to me are not ready, and I need to invest money to help them be ready. And that involves doing a lot of extra footwork.
I'm sure some people will be coming forward with some manuscripts now. One of your successful books you've recently published are the works of Peter Allen Rice. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Peter's a wonderful artist. He's well known. He lives in St. Mary's. His work is endearing to many people. His work has never been in a book form before. His artwork is three-dimensional sculpture. And so last summer we had an idea to do a retrospective of some of his work. And the book has done really well. It's actually, I just reprinted it, which makes me very happy. When we launched Peter's book, we don't have a bookstore in St. Mary's, but Zenfire Pottery, Angela Patterson, agreed to take us on and to have the book launched there. It was fabulous. And the book continues to be available there, which I'd like to say you can find all of Crossfield books at Zenfire Pottery in St. Mary's.
Yeah, Peter's a great person for our community, and I can understand why his books are selling so well. If somebody wants to get one of your books, how do they get one?
Anyone can walk into a book retailer. That could be Chapters Indigo, it could be Fanfare in Stratford, it could be Village Bookstore in Bayfield. Any professional bookseller can order my books through my distributor, which is Fitzhenry Whiteside in Markham, Ontario.
You can go to a bookstore and ask for a book, but where do I see all of the titles that you have?
They're all on my website, crossfieldpublishing.com.
Well, you certainly have done a great job, and I think you're now going to open up some books for us.
And this is the most nerve-wracking thing. When you receive a box of books from the printer, and you've only ever seen a digital proof, it's like, oh, will it be okay? Is it okay? Will I like it? Will the author like it? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Oh, looks great. Wow. Oh, got to look at the back cover. Got to make sure it's all good. Oh my gosh. Did I spell my name right? Yes, look at that. Crossfield Publishing. And the book is called Dastardly Deed, and it's a romantic suspense, perfect for the beach.
Thank you, Tina, for sharing your story with us. Okay, Dawn has taken off to ask the question of the week, even though we come out every second week. So, Dawn, what's up?
Hey, John. It's Dawn down here in beautiful downtown St. Mary's, and we're asking people this week, what are you going to do post-COVID when we finally get told that there are no more restrictions? And we're here with Stephanie. Stephanie, what would you like to do first?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting my daughter here, playing with some other kids, and getting life back to normal.
Well, Cecile, what would you like to do post-COVID?
Well, I'm going to travel a little bit more, get out of the house, and eat at restaurants and everything I used to do before COVID.
Where would you like to go?
The Caribbean. I've been there lots of times, but I'd like to go again. And maybe summer in Florida. And I have to go to the Mediterranean. That's on my wish list.
Frank.
Yes.
Frank, when we get the final green light on COVID, what are you going to do?
Well, you know what I'm going to do when they have the final green light on COVID? I'm going right through that green light, Daddy-O, and I'm going to be playing music for everybody who wants to listen to live music. I'm going to be making people happy. I'm going to make people smile, and I'm going to say, you know, you don't need a mask with Frankie, baby. You just have to show me that smile. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, Don just got back. Don, what would you do?
Oh, I've just been dying to go on a trip, John. I am going to take off and see the world. And I'm inviting you and Frank and the entire Front Porch Show gang. We're all going, and we're going to blow the budget.
Whoa!
If there are any travel agents out there, by the way, we are quite willing to do a Front Porch Show cruise anywhere you want in the world.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
We'll entertain 2-3 times a night.
This is Adeline.
And this is Chris. And this is Joe.
And we're in Kingston, Ontario, watching the Front Porch Show.
It's simple. You're looking for fulfilling employment, but you're having trouble finding a job that suits your skill set. Connect to the hidden job market with Partners in Employment. Their employment resource centers offer help to search for a job, sessions that will help you learn about career directions, resumes, interview skills, the hidden job market, and generational differences. At Partners in Employment, their goal is simple: to match potential employees to employer needs in Huron and Perth counties. Contact Partners in Employment today.
Welcome to the Quadro Fiber Hood. Not only will you have lightning-fast fiber optic internet, You can add mobility, home phone, and QTV from Quadro, all on one bill. Why choose Quadro? Well, we have our own infrastructure with local service, support, and a bricks and mortar location at 84 Wellington Street South.
Hi, I'm Leanne, a customer service rep here at the St. Mary's store. I love living in the vibrant community of St. Mary's. I'm proud of the commitment that Quadro has brought to our community with our donation to the Hospital Foundation, sponsorship of St. Mary's Radio, Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, and the annual Town of St. Mary's events. Working at Quadro in St. Mary's means I can add a personal touch with those who live in town, and it brings me a real sense of accomplishment and pride. Not only do Quadro employees live in our area, but if you call into support, you'll get someone from down the street, not oceans away. I look forward to seeing and serving you.
There's so much to be proud of in the town of St. Mary's, where neighbors look after neighbors, and Quadro is proud to be an active part of your community, because we're local, just like you.
How y'all doing? I'm Country from the Wildstone Bar and Grill, and you're watching the Front Porch Show. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, did you notice we made the big time in the paper this week?
No.
Yeah.
Really? What was it?
Do you know that you, me, and Frank, we are all the answers for the town of St. Mary's?
I thought we were the big questions.
No, we're in the word puzzle, and you're in there, and Frank's in there, and even me.
Oh, fantastic.
So how does the word puzzle work?
You got to do it, circle all the letters and find the names.
Well, that's for old people.
Yeah.
How does it work for young people?
It makes a good fire starter for the backyard campfires
There you go.
and that sort of thing.
Don Van Galen, he had the answer to the question.
Okay.
You've got all the answers here.
Okay, guys, we got a show to start going. At one time, St. Mary's had a very successful baseball bat factory here. And it's one of the few in the world, and it was very popular. Unfortunately, it's gone by the wayside. It's no longer here. But we have a gentleman in here, Chris Evans. So we're going to go to him. His company's called Brick House Paddles. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hello, John.
So, Chris, how did you get started making the paddles?
Kind of a long story. My wife and I started playing pickleball about 1.5 years ago. We had some time on our hands, and we fell in love with it immediately, and we decided we were going to go buy paddles, and went to look for paddles, and I didn't really see anything I liked. They all kind of looked the same, and a lot of fancy graphics that really didn't appeal to me. Anyway, we bought them, played them for a while, and I was kept looking at the paddles. Ball! Kept looking at the paddles, and I thought, I've got a background in composites. I should be able to make these and maybe come up with something I'd actually like. So I started kind of as a hobby, just messing around with it, and made a few paddles, and yep, they weighed a ton, so it just kind of progressed from there. But I was really just kind of duplicating what was already on the market, and I really wasn't happy with it. So one day I was down the shop mucking around, and I found a box of wood veneer that I'd had for years when I used to have a furniture business. I incorporated the wood onto the paddle, took it out, played it. It played pretty well, and people seemed to really like it. It was a beautiful burled walnut, I think, or burled maple was the first one I did. And it was really nice, and people really liked it and responded to it, so we just kind of progressed from there.
Very nice. What are your paddles made from?
I call it a hybrid paddle. So it's a polypropylene honeycomb core. Then we use a layer of fiberglass laminate, and we reinforce it or zone reinforce the paddle in different areas for extra strength. And then we laminate the veneer over top. And then we trim it out with a heavy-duty edge guard, because a lot of the play we do out here is on the courts, and it's kind of a rough surface, so paddles take a beating, so we use a heavy-duty edge guard, and that's kind of where we go. And then it's just a matter of perfecting it to get the weight of the paddle right.
Really? What makes your paddle so special?
A few things, actually. All our paddles, I do everything from scratch, so everything is hand-laid, meaning all the core and the fiberglass and the veneer, it's all hand laid up, so it lets me do a few things a little bit differently. It lets me zone reinforce the paddles. So for example, our paddle handle areas are all reinforced from about here down, so you don't get as much flex in the paddle, and it strengthens the weak spot in the paddle. Obviously the wood veneer, I think we're the only ones that I've ever seen do a wood veneer. And it's taken a long time to perfect it, but the results are great. And we're one of only, really, I think, 2 true Canadian manufacturers that actually manufacture all their product here in Canada.
So you don't send your designs overseas to be produced?
No, that's definitely not in our cards, and we definitely don't do anything. In fact, we actually source 95% or 98% of our materials locally.
Great. And as pickleball continues to grow, what strategies have you used or are you using to compete against the other companies?
Well, basically, don't poke the bear. Try and stay small enough that we're under the radar, and we're not out there to set the world on fire and sell 1 million paddles a year. That's not what we want to do. I want to build a high quality paddle that people enjoy playing, that I'm proud of putting out in the marketplace. And you know what, we're pretty flexible. We can change things pretty quickly. It doesn't take much. Like, I have all my own equipment for manufacturing and cutting out the paddle, so we can change things up in a hurry. And we're not necessarily committed to making an approved paddle all the time. So if somebody wants something a little custom, we can do that for them. So there's a lot of advantages to being small. The thing that we don't have is the big marketing budget, and that's really what separates us from the big boys.
That's fine, but what is your biggest challenge going forward?
You know what, there's a lot of them. There's the rules around licensing are changing, so all our paddles are what they call USAPA certified, meaning there's a governing body down in the U.S. called United States Pickleball Association, and your paddles, in order to carry their seal of approval, you have to send them down for testing, and they've really changed the rules around what the costs are, licensing agreements, that sort of thing. So that's a problem for us, and it's just, getting out there and really learning the business. I'm not from the sporting goods business, so it's been a challenge figuring out how it works, because it doesn't work anything like I'm used to.
Okay. You've played the game yourself less than 2 years, and yet you're designing paddles. How did you learn how to design them so quickly?
You know what, I talked to a lot of people, and I handed out paddles and people tried them, and you read the forums and study what people are saying about other people's paddles, and it just a lot of research and trying to figure out what people were looking for, and at the end of the day it came down to building what I wanted to play with.
So where can I get one of your paddles?
Right now we've got right across Canada, down into the US, and we don't have anything in Europe yet, but that's coming.
So, what's next for Brick House Paddles?
I've got a couple of new paddle designs I've been working on for a while, so I'm just prototyping those. I'm doing a couple of, I know I shouldn't say this word, but Christmas is coming up a little ways down the road, but I want to do a limited run with some exotic wood veneers. They won't be USA certified, but they'll be a very interesting paddle. So basically just have some fun. If you're in here, one of our paddles, you can buy it from Bob's Racket Works up in Ben Miller, or you can buy it on the website. Those are probably the easiest ones, and then we'll ship it wherever we have to. We've got, depending on where you are, we've got retailers in Vancouver, Kingston, up in Grand Bend. We've got a couple of pros we're working with out in Victoria. And you can always go to our website, brickhousepaddles.com, and we've got a pretty good e-commerce site, and it seems to work well.
Okay, but you say you make several models. How many models do you make?
We've only got 2. We make what I call the Retro 85, which is a natural cherry finish, and then we make the Retro 65, which is an ash. And we make that one available in 8 different colors. I just want to throw out one more thing. The reason we call them retro is because the pickleball was started in 65, and hence the Retro 65.
You have a few models. How do I find the perfect paddle for me?
You can basically, it comes down to weight, grip size, and do you like the color? What's your preference that way?
So you make your own paddles. What's your preference?
I traditionally like a heavier paddle of around 8.2, but I'll tell you, this new 7.6 paddle I've got it works.
As the sport develops, do you see any changes in the paddle design?
You guys are always trying to push the envelope with new paddles and come up with new designs. We are reasonably restricted around what we can do because of the guidelines that the US APA sets up for certification. But guys are always pushing the envelope. Like now, the big thing is a textured surface so that guys can really spin the ball. So guys coming from tennis are used to putting spin on the ball, top spin, side spin, back spin, and the new textured surface in some of the paddles they really make a difference.
Chris, I wish you all the best in your business, and thank you for coming in to the Front Porch Show.
Hey, my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, as promised, we said we were going to have a very special guest. It's none other than Justin.
We interrupt this program for a special report.
This is your ace reporter, Don Van Galen, on location at Rice Lake in St. Mary's, right across from the famous front porch of the Front Porch Show. And I'm here investigating an incident where local residents are all in great fear, as you can see right over there. You may recall the recent incident of a floating unicorn down here at Rice Lake, and the monster known as Tallulah was spotted. These waters now have an even more menacing creature, which is causing great fear and worry among residents. Reports are sketchy at this moment, but they say that a Russian spacecraft drone flown by the well-known secret agent Brusoniskov Zinikowski was investigating the strange incident here, hovering low over Rice Lake, when it mysteriously plunged into the murky waters below. Eyewitnesses claim to have seen some sort of creature in the vicinity of the crash, and despite all efforts, the Russian government has been unable to recover their lost drone. Here to tell us what they saw is an eyewitness.
Yes, my name is Amelia. It's Miss Amelia. I'll just go by my first name. I've never been married. Just have
Amazing.
Yes, I just have a series of passionate love affairs. But on to what I saw. It was quite remarkable, and as you mentioned, residents are concerned. I was watching over here, and I saw a large blow up.
A large blow up. Can you be a little bit more specific?
People were in the blow up. Looked to me like some sort of a horse or a unicorn.
And then what happened?
Yeah, well, it was quite remarkable, because out of the corner of my eye, I spotted what I thought was an osseous porphyros, which is rare to be here in St. Mary's. It's usually in Europe. And then I thought, no, that can't be that. But then it plunged directly into the murky waters below. Like right away, like it just hovered and plunged.
That truly is incredible. Thank you very much, Amelia. Sparing no expense, the Front Porch Show has tracked down the investigator of this incident, who has been hired by the local town council. You, sir, tell us your name and who you are working for.
Yes, hi, my name is Michael Greytie, no relation, and I am from the St. Mary's CIA department.
The CIA?
The committee to investigate anything, obviously.
And what have you found out, sir?
During our studies, our group has found ectoplasm in the water. Ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm? What does that mean?
It's goop. It's like scientific goop.
And what does that mean for the future of these waters?
It's a scary reality that's about to happen. The DNA from the ectoplasm has combined with Tallulah to make a super monster that will grip biblical proportions.
That truly is a scary thing. What will happen now?
Many will disappear and many will die if this isn't taken care of properly.
Oh, look over there! Look! Did you see it?
What did you see? What did you see?
I saw it.
Oh!
It's amazing! It's amazing! Did you get that? Ah!
This has been a special report. We now return to our regular program.
Justin Bieber himself. It was just wonderful. Justin, he's walking down the road right now. But Justin, thanks for coming into the Front Porch Show.
Hi, I'm Joe Taylor, St. Mary's, home of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, and you're watching the Front Porch Show.
Hi, you may know me as Sue Griffiths, the owner of Village Craft and Candle. Those days are gone. If you don't know us already, let me introduce you to Stone Home Creatives. But don't worry, we haven't changed that much. We're focusing to be a retail experience for creative people. All the comforts of home, gifts here for others, and a place to make memories. We have awesomely funny cards. We have stuff for people that are turning 40, 50, 60, quirky gifts, and things you wouldn't expect to find.
And we still have candles.
We've just changed the name to Stone Home Creatives. That's who we really are. Come visit us at 158 Queen Street East, St. Mary's, where we live, laugh, and love. You can also visit us online at stonehomecreatives.ca.
Hi, I'm Doug Holliday, and you're watching the Front Porch Show.
Don, you're back. What was that abrupt ending with the Russian drone?
Well, I could tell you, John, but then I'd have to kill you. No, in all seriousness...
That isn't the first time I've heard that, Don.
Well, in this case, the Russians are actually denying the whole incident, and Mayor Al is claiming that he doesn't know anything about the CIA operating in St. Mary's.
Steph Martin, you wrote a song for Taste of Blood. How did you come about this song from AKool?
Well, Steph Martin, welcome to the Front Porch Show. Thank you for taking your time and coming out here in a beautiful home on a beautiful day. The buzz is around the world, I suppose, eventually, that you co-wrote a song for an AKool film. The film is called The Taste of Blood.
That is very correct.
Can you tell our audience how that song came about in this particular film?
Yeah, well, that song itself was a second song we wrote for the film. I had met a fellow musician through a London connection, and Terry Baisley. So he had sent me some instrumentation, and I started writing some music to it. And while this was going on, we were asked if we wanted to do some music for this movie. So I said, hey, do you want to write a song? So he did some instrumentation, and I wrote some melody and lyrics to it. And we really liked it, and we submitted it. But of course, we weren't quite right on track because ours was a bit more tragic and, love-stricken. But he was looking for something more upbeat. So we actually went to the studio and saw the clip that we were to be doing the music for, because I said, I think I need to see the clip if we're going to maybe do something in that context. And so that was actually the first time Terry and I had met in person, so that was kind of funny. But we met there at the studio, watched the clip, and wrote this song. So.
Wow, that's fantastic. I think there's a lot of singer-songwriters. You are a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a performer, live performer, you are a mother,
Yep.
You are a grandmother, you are a music teacher.
Yes.
You wear a coat of many, many colors.
Yes,
Steph.
I'm a jack of all trades,
And
master of none.
And you enjoy all of them, and it's well deserved that a song of yours that you co-wrote would be in hopefully a major film.
Yeah, well, I always wanted to write in a movie, so that was always like something. Now it's a small clip, sort of part way through, but I'm super excited because it's it's in the movie and it gets to take that format.
Yes, people should be watching for it. I think it's the follow-up to an AKool film called The Sanctuary,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
So
yeah.
it's sort of a continuation of that movie, and perhaps it could be a whole series of movies if it becomes what they call a blockbuster.
Yes.
And
That would
certainly,
be awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
certainly hope that will happen. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, very quickly, before we hear a clip of that particular song, and it's called Dawn of Love, right?
Yes, Dawn of Love.
Oh, so Dawn of Love, ladies and gentlemen, is in a movie called The Taste of Blood. Makes sense to me.
That's why it was tricky, right? Because it was like, how do I write a song? But, that part of the movie, they are a young couple in love, so...
Well, there you go. And, you got into the music business, I suppose, at a very young age, like a lot of people do, and you started playing guitar and singing. Just give us a rough little background.
Well, I've probably been singing, I'm guessing, since I was born.
Oh,
and
there
then,
you go.
and then, it was all musical. And then I started playing guitar around 11 or 12, lived in the small town of Narren, so we didn't have much for, music stores. I don't even know if they existed back then. But I took a couple music lessons and started playing guitar, and basically right away started writing. So I've been playing my acoustic guitar and writing since 12 years old, and playing lots. But then, as time went on, I started, after I had kids, then I started teaching guitar, which was
Speaking
awesome.
of kids and teaching guitar, if someone out there wants to get a hold of Steph Martin, the music teacher, how would they do that?
So you can just look me up on Facebook. That's probably the quickest way for people to get a hold of me, and send me a messenger. And I think usually all my contact information is on deepwatersmusic.com. But either works, and either will get you directly to me to find out about lessons and
Okay. Well, look, God bless you, and thank you very much for talking to us and all that. But before we go, we're definitely going to show a clip. Now, can you set this song up a little bit, or the clip that we're going to see here in a few seconds?
So it's a innocent new love that's hopeful and wanting to develop in this movie. But then, of course, there's some dark twists that. Take it in another direction, but this is still at the hopeful spot. And the dawn of love, the meaning of that, when we wrote it, I looked it up, and I found that the meaning of young love is also called dawn of love. So that's where the title came from, and this is portraying that early stage of love, which gets turned into another plot later on in the movie.
Sounds very interesting. Well, look, I'm telling you again that I'm hoping deep down inside that this movie becomes a big blockbuster, and Steph Martin becomes, a household name more than she is just in St. Mary's, maybe around the world. You never know where a movie and a song in the movie will go, do you?
Nope, that's great. We're excited for any opportunities that lie ahead for us.
Absolutely. Okay, folks, Steph Martin, thanks again. Here's a little audio video clip, I should say, of the song that she co-wrote for the movie The Taste of Blood, called Dawn of Love. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you for having me.
So let's close the show tonight with a song called Get a Dog. You ready, guys? Go.
Sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na, get a dog. Sha-na-na-na, get a dog. 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 Get a dog.
Thanks for watching the Front Porch Show. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
I was born in Ontario, place to stand, a place to grow. From Pickle Lake to Point Pelee, there's no place I'd rather be than my hometown they call Stone Town. Prettiest town for miles around, where little falls laugh and people share smiles, treat you like family. Home, St. Mary's, home to me. Home, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's home to me.